What's up everybody, this is Leo with Keyprint Co. and in today's video we're going to be making direct-to-film transfers, or DTF for short. Now the main reason why you would want to learn something like this is because if you already have the Epson F2100, it's an additional service you can offer your customers or simply use it yourself in-house. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So this is a DTF transfer, and what it is essentially is a piece of plastic film that you print over but in reverse. So you're printing the colors first and then the white layer on top of that, because when you heat press it, it's all going to lay down flat like this. So the main thing about a transfer that's important is that you can print out a bunch of these ahead of time. So say for example that you want to print out 12 left chest pocket prints. You could print all 12 of them out on one sheet, cut them out, and then store them for later use. So if you do something like print on demand fulfillment, all you have to do is take out one of your designs, heat press it as you need it, and then you can put the rest of them away. The other big reason why somebody would use a DTF transfer is because these are perfect for non-organic materials. So synthetics, things like polyester, things that have a very difficult time adhering to normal DTG ink, they're perfect for DTG transfers. So you don't have to pass up any orders if they're not organic materials. Another reason why somebody would use a DTF transfer is if the placement of the print itself is difficult to achieve. So along with using a dedicated platen for that placement, what you could do is print it on a DTF transfer, place it, and make sure that it's perfect to exactly how the lining of it you want it to be, then heat press it to make it permanent. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a film out and we're going to put it on the platen. Now with this film, and the most important part is you want to print on the correct side. The quickest way to tell with this film is that the glossy side is at the bottom and the matte side is at the top, where the ink is going to print. Once the film is on the platen, all you want to do is tape it down so that it's secured and it doesn't move while you're printing. Now step 2 is to set it up in Garment Creator so that the settings allow for it to be color first and then white on top. So now let's jump into the computer and I'll show you how that goes. So now that we have the artwork in Garment Creator, the first thing we want to do is switch it over to light colored t-shirt. From there we want to make it level 3 and we want to make sure that it's unidirectional in print direction. Now the last thing and a very important thing is to make sure that the artwork is already flipped before you bring it into Garment Creator. So if you think about it, you're going to have to heat press it onto the apparel, and when you heat press it, it's going to come out reversed. So as long as the artwork is flipped before you input it into Garment Creator, you should be just fine. Then you just hit print and go over to the printer. Now that we sent the artwork over to the printer, we're going to hit print, and what's going to happen is that the artwork is going to print the CMYK layer first, before we print the white layer on top. So now we just printed the CMYK layer, and the first thing you're going to notice is that it's going to come out and it's going to be really wet. And you can tell by how glossy and even by the texture of it. So what you want to do is let it dry for at least a few seconds before you put the second layer on, which is the white layer. Now remember, this whole thing is going to be heat pressed onto apparel. So it's going to be in the reverse order. The white is going to be the part that touches the apparel, and the CMYK colors are going to be on top. So back in Garment Creator, what we want to do now is leave everything exactly as it is. Don't move the position of the artwork or shift anything around. The only thing you want to do is switch the setting to dark color t-shirt. And what you're going to notice is that the artwork is going to be completely in white. And that's what we want. We simply want the white layer to go last. So now we're going to hit print and go over to the machine. So now that we have the CMYK layer, what we're going to do is we're going to print the second layer, which is the white layer. Now keeping in mind, the white layer is the first thing that's going to touch the apparel, so it's going to set a nice underbase for us to then print the CMYK layers on top. Okay, so now we printed on the film and we applied the adhesive powder on top of that. The next thing you want to do is fully cook the adhesive powder onto the image that you printed. To do that, we're going to put it on our heat press, and then we're just gonna hover the top heating element over the actual image itself. Now, the main settings that we want to focus on are 350 for 2 to 3 minutes. But depending on your specific press and then the type of style of press that you have, you might have to alter those settings just a bit. But that's a general ballpark of where you want to be. So what's happening right now is that the adhesive is actually melting and binding to the ink itself. And the reason this is important is because when we take it out, we want it to be dry to the touch, but we also want it to still be able to adhere to whatever substrate we put it on. So that adhesive powder is definitely key. So now that the adhesive powder has been cured onto the ink, this is what it's going to look like. On this side, you're going to see the white underbase as well as the adhesive powder dry to the touch. Now on the reverse is what the colors are actually going to look like when you heat press this onto a shirt. So now for the application, you want to thread the shirt the way you normally do onto your heat press. Make sure that it's nice and straight, and then you want to take the heat transfer, you want to place it in position, and you want to do so that the CMYK colors are on top. After the positioning of the DTF is exactly where you want it, you want to take a Teflon sheet and you want to put it on top of that. And then you want to heat press as normal. So you want to leave the transfer on the t-shirt when you pull it off the press. And the reason why is because you don't want to peel it when it's really hot. You want to leave it on there for a bit until it warms down just a little bit. We actually found that you retain a lot of the vibrancy of the print if you leave it on there for a little bit longer. So we're going to let it warm down just a bit and then we're going to peel it off. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this content. And remember, subscribe to the channel for more printing content just like this. Check us out on Instagram for more printing content daily, and we'll catch you on the next one.